had a sick bay, had a generator, had 2 buses, have computer. Go and ask HP. I bought the highest number of computer ever sold by HP to any state in Africa. The order, they're there. You can go and ask HP, or you can go and ask Leostan of, let me remember his company now. You can go and ask him. No other person has done it.
If you become president, you will be frugal, yet you invest.
No. If I become president, I use the resources effectively. I cannot say buy a new jet.
Even if you need one.
I don't need one. You don't need one. Because you can go to anywhere with that jet. I will never need one.
You fly Airpeace, you fly Ghana, you fly
Of course, baby. Say, I will not use 150 billion to buy a jet when 80% of our primary health care centers are not functioning.
Even as against security protocols.
Which security?
You've been a governor, you know what it means.
No, what do you mean security? That's what they tell. That's nonsense they tell. I was a governor for my first 4 years. I drove 406. For the rest of it, I didn't drive bulletproof cars. Nobody's trying to kill you. You're doing the right thing. It's when you do the wrong thing that you're saying about that.
Would security agency even allow
you? Forget all those things. If your people are dying, you should be ready to die. That's the job you chose. Or you go back to your house and live quietly. The president should also be ready to die if your people are dying. Why should we have security vehicles? No, you can fly. Who is protecting you in the air? If you catch it, everybody dies. The British Airways flies every day. How many people have died? Are they going to provide you security in the air?
Let me take you to because what is important for our nation today is the alternative and the options that we have as a people, the hope of a better Nigeria. And economy is very key. And I look at this government. The administration says they are focused heavily on currency reforms and subsidy removal, which many say have worsened inflation and hardship for ordinary Nigerians. What alternative economic strategies would you pursue to stabilize the economy and protect the most vulnerable compared to the current government's approach should you become president?
So, I campaign on removal of subsidy. Remember. But I said, one, there's a corruption associated with the subsidy that you need to remove first. If you had removed it, that's what I said, yes, but it was done in a disorganized manner. So everything is about organization. There's a corruption associated with it that you need to remove first to know the actual subsidy and organize how you can gradually deal with whatever is remaining, and people must have to see the alternative. So when this government removed subsidy, do you know what they said? They said is to stop borrowing to sustain it. But this government has borrowed more than government of Yaradua, Jonathan, Buhari put together. As at the time Buhari left, our debt was about 80 trillion. Today we're almost 180 trillion. Without anything to show for it.
Is it a crime to borrow as a government?
No. These are part of the laws I want to change. We must now make a law that all borrowing must be for investment. In critical areas of development, you don't borrow for consumption. Without that, you waste everybody's time. Say I'm as a businessman, there's nothing wrong in borrowing. If I borrow to build factory, it's different if you borrow to bury your father. Because your father is of no value. It's gone. It's just consumption. That's why I keep saying that I want to move this country from consumption to production.
For example, what would you borrow for if you were president?
Say I'll borrow to finance education. I'll borrow to ensure that Nigerians have power. I can go on and on. There's so many things.
How long can it take you, for example, to fix Nigerian power situation?
So,
you went to Egypt.
Thank you. So let me tell you
from them.
That's it. It took Egypt 5 years. So we're not going to fix overnight. But remember what I said. Nobody expects 100% success. They want 100% effort. If development and what you do, governance, must be measurable. So if we decide, okay, we are now at 4,000. So we can decide, I'm only going to do 8,000. But annually, there must be improvements.
How would you do it?
How
would you fix power?
It's not rocket science. Egypt, I'm not saying now, say the 3 countries that improve power in the recent time, unless one did it yesterday, as at the time I went to Egypt, we are 3 countries in the world. India, Vietnam, and Egypt. And those are developing countries. So, governance is about learning from best practices. It is not rocket science.
So what do you feel? Have you identified why I'm over 40 and I've not, in my lifetime since I was born, I've not experienced constant electricity, and my children were born into a similar situation? The question is, have you identified what the problem is?
Yes, the problem is in failure of leadership.
That's the problem of electricity.
Everything. If you have a determined leader, he will learn, he will ensure implements it vigorously. Like the president announced that is happy that the opposition is in crisis. I will go there and solve it. As governor of Anambra State, you see me say it every day. Oju Zokari is there. He came to campaign for Uche Ekwunife. I gave him the vehicles that took him to the campaign. When he finished, he came to my lodge, ate lunch in front of me, standing this way, Uche standing this way. He said he has come to campaign, that I've done well, Uche will replace me. And I was in that election. And when I go to, they go say, oh, Peter, you're too weak. I said, I dare the people going to vote. When the people voted, they voted for me.
So the same thing that president is doing by employing or appointing Nyesom Wike as FCT minister and empowering the opposition, is that the kind of thing you're describing?
No, it's not empowering the opposition. I want strong opposition parties. Let's say I'm president today in one party, I want strong PDP. I want a Labour. I want strong APC. I want to listen to them. I want to see democracy thrive. I want people to understand. I want to listen to the opposition. Because they might have an idea that is superior to what I have. That is governance.
Would you be forming something like a government of national unity and taking people who are not in your party to form government? Is that the kind of thing you would do?
So we are talking about Nigeria. If they have something that is better, I'll take it.
You appoint ministers outside of your party?
It's no question of appointing ministers. I'm appointing Nigerians who are competent. Happens everywhere. So the government of England went to Canada to hire a central bank governor. Do you know how old England is? That colonized Canada. They went there because they wanted to function. It's only in this country that you put in competent people in a place because they're your relation or they know you. And that's what I'm clamoring for. We have voted for incompetence. We voted for tribe. We voted for religion. Let's vote for competence.
Do you think that the North trusts you?
Cheryl, I want them to trust me. The biggest asset of this country is in the North. The uncultivated land in the North. The criminality we face in the North today, I'll deal with it. So if I'm president, the North will celebrate me. I have an idea of the problem. So I'm in this country when, if I'm looking for cars, I go to Kano. There used to be industries in Bompai 1, in Bompai, Sharadan 1, Sharadan 2, and everything. So I was in Indonesia this year. From February 1 to February 7, meeting from Minister of Health, Minister of Education, Minister of Small Businesses, Minister of this, to former Vice President, to the most popular president.
Popular slogan that you used in the campaign, from consumption
to production. Yes.
Is
the country is not productive.
Let me ask you, because there are those who have also criticized you that what industry did Obi even put in Anambra when he was governor? To start with as an example. But I like to take the Nigerian example.
I mean, you know that industries. They have even used it as an example.
The brewery, right? As one.
Yes.
But the big question here, we're looking at a bigger picture, Ms. Obi. We need to start looking at our competitive advantage as a country.
Yes.
Where will the jobs come the most? Where will the more money come as an alternative to oil? If you are president, where do you think you will focus the most in the very first 1 year that can give us that advantage?
Shehu, I might not turn it around in the very first 1 year, but I can tell you, Shehu, we can make more money from agriculture than we make from oil. Any day, any time. I can show it to you.
Which produce will you be focusing on?
Shehu, we have all the produce. Why did you think? Shehu, go and look at the arrays. Do you know arrays which the colonial masters did were focused on where we were getting products? So there's so much. Nigerian land is so fertile that we can grow anything. You see, this is not just say we're having a problem. It has one of the best fertile land on the surface of the earth. So the world is today is looking for cassava, they're looking for yam,
ginger. I'm not talking about Nasarawa.
I can go. You are now
that belt.
You are now the one. As I say, we are now one talking. We have 54,000 square kilometers of land in Taraba. Not Taraba here. I can grow all that.
Which one would you focus on?
All of them simultaneously, because it's an investment. That's why I said I will borrow and put in investment. You are now borrowing for production, not for consumption.
Have you done the math?
Oh, so it's very easy. I don't need to renovate conference center. There's no conference here. So I've done it as a governor. You ask which industry that I built. So one of the first places I renovated as governor was industrial estate in Onitsha. Go there and see the number of industries. Jonathan commissioned at least 10 industries there. So come, I will show it to you, including the brewery that is mentioned. That brewery is the biggest taxpayer in Anambra State. Pays government. You know.
All right, we're not done yet with our conversation. For example, the tax reform bills, those 4 laws that have been signed by the president, the student loan that's been given, the credit corp. And this comment will say we are turning the curve and our economy is gaining momentum. Are you able to applaud those kind of initiatives?
The reality in governance is the people. Nigeria has never lacked good policies. What it lacked is good and committed implementation. Remember, Nigerians are very good people. They are committed. That's why every president comes and says, things are difficult, let's fast. And Nigerians will jump to it and say, okay, let's fast with you. But then the leaders now go into feasting. When they've just asked the people to fast. You can't tell people to fast when you're feasting. You buy new planes, you're renovating houses, buying new mansions, doing this. Say, we don't have a hospital. If anything happens to you or me now, they can't rush us to our national hospital.
There are private hospitals.
No, they have broken that. Shame, I'm just telling you. This is nonsense. When British Prime Minister had COVID, they took him to St. Mary's. I had a cousin in the UK. He had COVID. They took him to St. Mary's. Our national hospital is supposed to be our #1 hospital. Go there. They have no equipment. It's all broken down. They have no ambulance. Our government officials are driving on the road with ambulance. So I've never seen government officials anywhere outside Nigeria he's come for hands and plans. Not even, no, I lived in the UK for years. Why? Because I have plans in hospitals. Plans are meant to be in hospitals, not to be following government officials.
Is there a promise that I'd like to know? Because all of these, the policies and everything that we're talking about in terms of the economy, is the bottom line is the livelihood of the average person.
Completely.
The man and the woman who are trying to eke out a living, if they don't work every day, they cannot feed their families. What promise do you have for them? For them to think that Peter Gregory Obi has an idea that can alleviate their poverty, give them some hope. How soon do you think, should you be elected president, that you can help them out of this poverty and this hopelessness?
So it's not going to be overnight. But let me tell you.
But you will do it in 4 years.
From day one, I will tackle the issue of security. You can't tell me that non-state actors can be stronger than state.
How would you do that?
We declare war. We've lost more people than countries at war. So let's go to war. Let's do whatever it is. Even this borrowing you're talking, borrow money to put into security, into equipment, get the manpower.
But you will not get those equipments in real time. You have to wait until they manufacture.
Let me tell you,
frustrating.
There's nothing you cannot do if you want to do it. It's frustrating.
So if this government doesn't have the willpower, or what?
I just told you, people are being killed. They are not even there. They are commissioning bus station. You cannot tell me that I, Peter, will be sitting where we have 10 soldiers die, which I'm not sure are police die and everything, which I'm not sure they're being killed. And my job is to sit for 2-3 hours where they're commissioning bus station. We will not do it. I will shut it down and go out there.
You declare state of emergency on security.
No, if there's a war, we declare war. We can be at war. There's nothing wrong in saying our country is at war.
You by yourself as a commander-in-chief go to the war front.
I can tell you, Shane, I might not go physically, but I'll go. Because I'll be with the people there. They will know I'm with them.
What are they?
Yeah, it's everything this have happened to me as a governor. I wish you can go and meet my police commissioners when we have problem. One is Lena, John Haruna. The other one is alive, Bello from Kwara. I told them we are at war. You must see me 24 hours. Ask them, or ask my commander of the army when I was there, Jayanenche. He's in Abuja here. Ask him, I told him we are at war. And then you can see me anytime. I must stop this criminality in Anambra. And I'm happy that if you look at an interview from then A.G. Abubakar, I said for 5 years, we've not had issue of bank robbery, major crime in Anambra State.
But there was spate of the kidnappings and a few of those.
There's nothing you will not see anywhere in the world. The kidnappings in America, they kill people in America. The difference is that if anything happens, there's a reaction from government. People want to see
you
government.
have alternative, Mr. Obi, on how to solve, because we've been employing the same techniques over the years. Have you learned a new way to solving this insecurity problem?
There is so many. Even I told you, there's what they call natural insecurity. That is pulling people out of poverty. So by the time you invest, the entire state in the north cumulatively, over the past 2 years, have not been able to support their SMEs with more than maybe, let me be generous, 50 billion. I've been to 2 states in the north who told me they applied for Bank of Industry. There's 150 billion used to buy plane. I'll put it as a matching fund, just for example, and get another 150 billion, that's 300, shared by the 19 states, call it 20 states, so each will get 15 billion. Within this period, and you give it to these young people. So we have gone to prisons and see these young people that have problems. And I ask them, why did you do this? They have no job. They don't know where the next meal will come from. And if you don't know where the next meal will come come from. So nobody can know or imagine what you can do.
The leaders of that state government, the question is, issue of state policing come to bear. What would you be suggesting as the alternative solution in governing all of the states of the country and making sure that they are properly policed?
So I will have community policing. I will encourage it. Local government policing, I will encourage it. State policing, I will encourage it. Federal policing. So as governor, every community in Anambra State have community security system employing 10 to 20 persons paid directly from my office as governor, was paying for the security personnel that was manning it. So if you still in one town, the radio, you cannot. The three major criminals that were operating in the southeast, everybody knows them. You will not know because of the Igbo names, Ofaku, Oisikanku, and Gwekelo. Welcome to Anambra State. Because once you sit in one town, the radio, they must get you in another town. So I would do, that's why I said, I would do whatever it is to secure the country. Security is number one. Nobody's going to come and invest in Lagos if you hear there's bomb in Boronu, because there's no way the bomb will come to Lagos. So you need to, the reputation of your country in terms of security, in terms of local investment, is critical for you to.
I mean, when you touched on the issue of the security in the southeast, there were those who criticized you that you never came out to condemn the role IPOB and those who were the agitators and those who were asking for sit at home and some of the killings that happened.
Still, they are not following me. I've condemned killings everywhere, even the one that happened in Anambra yesterday.
You're talking about the role of IPOB.
I said I've condemned everything. The only thing I said about the agitators, let me tell you now. So it doesn't matter what, there's Yoruba agitators, there's other agitators, there's Israel agitators. I will talk to all of them. There's nothing wrong with agitating. Anybody who says, okay, come on, let's talk. You must exhaust the reason, you must exhaust. But I see all those functionalities as a function of a dysfunctional, is a result of a dysfunctional society. If you do the right things, all these things will collapse on its own. So what I'm going to unleash here as somebody who works in government will change it.
Would this be canvassing for a political solution to the case of Nnamdi Kanu?
For every one of them. I mean, why is it being held? It doesn't make sense to me. Some people say because he used vulgar words and everything. Is there anything wrong? I've not seen it. People just say, oh, using vulgar words. You say, it doesn't bother me if I'm president, whether you call me thief, call me a less man, call me idiot, which they call me today. It doesn't bother me. My duty as a leader is to the common man to put food on their table.
Well, if you are talking about the situation in the south, is it the same way you handle the agitators and those who are killing in the northeast and the northwest?
Remember what I said. If there are people I can talk to, I will talk to them. But remember what I said. Once I exhaust reason, I'll deal with it. Let's say tomorrow we have a bandit by name so operating in the northeast. I will look for shame. Quote me anywhere. But, remember, that is just establish a link to say enough is enough.
Afterwards?
Deal with it decisively.
Are you happy with the peace and the quiet in the southeast after the arrest of Simon Ekpa?
There's no peace anywhere like I know in Nigeria now. So for me, I just told you they killed 10 yesterday in my state. Is that peace? People are being killed everywhere in Nigeria. Everywhere.
Let me ask you quickly,
Yes.
Mr. Obi. A lot of your followers believe so much in you. And those who do not believe in you, they don't think that you're the right man. Why do you think that Nigerians should trust a Peter Gregory Obi that will give them hope and will give them focus? Can they trust you?
So everything I've said, I did. As governor, when I was campaigning to be governor of Anambra State, I said I'll fix education. I'll make sure I improve in education. There will never be a time children will not be in school. I can show you education increase. It became better. I said we're going to deal with the issue of health. We didn't have one single school of nursing and school of midwifery. By the time I left, we have more schools of midwifery and school of nursing today than any state. I talked about rural roads, opening up rural. You can go on and on. It is not
so Nigerians can,
like I said, no.
So you have the solution.
What they can, when I talk about corruption, we will fight corruption head on. Head on. And I said it. If you, who is number one, either at level, national level or state, is not stealing, your wife is not, your family is not, reduced by 50%, it's an experiment way. I've had people now who say, oh, but you're corrupt. But Shehu, I left 36 billion naira I would have stolen. I left $150 million I would have stolen. So I've never seen a thief leave what he can steal.
People will make reference to the Panama Papers and some of the crimes.
So I ask you a question. Have you seen a thief leave what he can steal? Even in the church today, you go say, take your phone, mind your phone. Because there's no thieves come there. No thief have left what he can steal. So when they talk about Pandora Papers, I say go and investigate it in full. So we exaggerate here. That is a legal entity for estate arrangement. So we will focus on the critical areas of development.
Mr. Peter Obi, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much. And I wish you the very best in the coming days.
Thank you.